What the hell? Raven Simone, big titties. Oh my god. Well, fuck it. Now we shall be reacting to the infamous scene that took That's So Raven off the air. You saw them titties. Do I even need to say any more? Let's start the video, man. Unless that was AI.
Hey, Corey. 2003. That's a Raven. We watch old episodes of ourselves and saying, "Oh, remember when we had jobs?"
That's horrible.
This nigga was on meth, probably there too. Right?
The truth is, I don't hire black.
Yes, I was aware. My friends were aware. My parents were not.
Television history is filled with shows that left a lasting impact. But what made That's So Raven stand out among them? From its debut in the early 2000s to its massive popularity, the show sparked conversations, laughter, and some unexpected controversies. Here are the key moments, behind-the-scenes drama, and the infamous scene that took That's So Raven off the air. In the early 2000s, Disney Channel was riding high on the success of several hit shows aimed at a pre-adolescent audience, including Even Stevens and
Shout out to Even Stevens, man. Shout out to my nigga, Even Steven. What's his name? Shia LaBeouf. Great. I can watch that on Disney Plus right now. I'm not watching it. My brother, older brother, I don't know if he still does, but he used to always have a crush on Hillary Duff. Lizzie McGuire, man, that was his bitch.
Lizzie McGuire. These single-camera comedies, which blended humor and relatable storylines, quickly became favorites.
I hate he only calls on people who don't have their hands raised.
And that cracking sound is nasty.
The success of the show set the stage for the creation of a new series, That's So Raven. This new show, however, was going to be a bit different. The idea for That's So Raven was conceived by Susan Sherman, who initially thought of a buddy comedy aimed at a younger audience. She teamed up with Michael Porius to bring her idea to life. The two creators decided to base the show around a young girl who could see into the future, a concept they felt would captivate young viewers. They pitched the show to Disney Channel executives under different working titles, including The Future Is On Me and Absolutely Psychic. Eventually, the show became known as That's So Raven. The concept of the show, which revolved around Raven having psychic visions of the future, was something that appealed to both young viewers and their families. Raven would often experience visions that would cause her to intervene in situations in an attempt to stop something bad from happening or to protect.
I wonder if they were fucking when they, at this time, when they was doing the little chest-to-chest ball. I wonder if they were fucking at that time.
Protect her loved ones. However, her visions didn't always play out the way she expected.
All right, Raven, you really told that Shelly off. Hey.
Leading to comedic situations. A big part of the charm.
That's a great way to get smacked up, man. Nigga, you know when you're about to go ahead and sneeze, let off a sneeze ball. You ain't even going, I see, when I sneeze, I know it. When you see just like loading up a gun. And the pressure, or like a pressure cooker just. Sorry. I just yawned. But it's like, it's then you have enough time after this third to go ahead and just or turn around. Hold on. I do that. Hold on. That's disrespectful. That's a great way to. Yeah.
The charm of the show was watching Raven try to outsmart fate and the misadventures that came with it. The show also centered around the importance of family and friendship. Raven's psychic abilities were kept secret from most of the world, but her closest friends, Eddie and Chelsea, and her family were in the loop. Raven's brother Corey, her parents Tanya and Victor, and her friends played significant roles in the series. The diverse family setup was a deliberate move by the show's creators, who wanted to reflect the network's broad audience. That's So Raven was the first Disney Channel show to feature an African-American family in central roles. marking an important step toward diversity on the network. Production of That's So Raven began in late 2001. The series was initially ordered for 21 episodes, and filming took place in Los Angeles, California. The show was originally expected to air in early 2002, but the entire first season was filmed before it made its television debut. The premiere took place on January 17, 2003, with the first 4 episodes airing together. The show's success led to various spin-offs and adaptations. It became the first Disney Channel show to reach 100 episodes, a milestone that was met with much fanfare. In 2007, That's So Raven ended after 4 seasons, as the cast had grown older and the characters were aging out of the target demographic. However, the impact of the show continued to be felt. The network developed a spin-off series, Corey in the House, which focused on
Corey in the
Raven's
House is
younger
my
brother
shit.
Corey, played by Kyle Massey. The series ran for 2 seasons, but it was the spin-off Raven's Home that truly kept the legacy of That's So Raven alive. The show aired from 2017 to 2023, with Raven Simone reprising her role as Raven Baxter alongside
Simone?
other original
Nigga, it's Raven Simone.
cast members. As for how people perceived the show at the time, That's So Raven was met with a positive reception, especially from young viewers. It quickly became a staple of Disney Channel's lineup, with its mix of lighthearted comedy and meaningful life lessons.
Whoa, that's your dad. It's a good thing I'm with you.
Have fun.
In April 2003, just a few months after its premiere, Disney Channel renewed That's So Raven for a second season. The show had already captured the attention of its audience, and network executives saw its potential for continued success.
Cow, where art thou? You're in my stomach now. Cow, tell me how.
A key moment in the show's rise to fame was the airing of a musical episode titled The Road to Audition in July 2004. This was inspired by the success of a similar musical episode from another Disney Channel series, Even Stevens. The musical format was a hit, and executives realized that combining music with their shows could further engage young viewers. This success later played a part in the creation of High School Musical, another Disney Channel phenomenon. Originally, That's So Raven was planned for a maximum of 3 seasons. However, the show's growing popularity led to a surprising
Adrian
decision in
Bailout,
June
man.
2005.
I love this
Disney
shit, bro.
ordered a 4th season, which would make That's So Raven the first Disney Channel original series to exceed 3 seasons. By this time, the show had already become a major success, and it was clear that it had more stories to tell. The 4th season would consist of 22 episodes, bringing the total episode count to 100, a significant milestone for the network. Raven Simone, the show's lead,
Simone,
played a
nigga.
key role in its continued success. At just 19 years old, she became a producer for the 4th season. She was involved in decisions regarding casting, script writing, and even special effects. However, despite her increasing responsibilities behind the scenes,
Usher, work out. Shirtless, muscles glistening under glass.
Raven Simone turned down the opportunity to direct an episode, while the series saw a shift in production teams. With Brookwell and McNamara leaving after season 3, Raven Simone's involvement was a reflection of how much the show had grown.
That makeup
The
looks so
collaboration
bad.
between Raven Simone and her co-stars, including Orlando Brown and Annalisa van der Pol, was praised for its chemistry, and it contributed to the show's comedic success. By 2006, That's So Raven had firmly established itself as the highest-rated original program on Disney Channel, surpassing Lizzie McGuire.
Hey, their chemistry was great because hey,
For the top spot, the show's blend of humor, family dynamics, and fantasy elements was loved by audiences, especially teens and preteens. However, as the cast aged, it became clear that the show's teen-focused storylines would soon no longer be relatable for the actors. In August 2006, Disney executives hinted that the show was unlikely to continue beyond the upcoming episodes, as the characters were beginning to outgrow their roles. In addition to its popularity, That's So Raven was a merchandising goldmine. The show's merchandise included everything from dolls and clothing lines to lunchboxes and video games. By 2006, merchandise sales had grossed over $400 million, highlighting just how much the show had permeated pop culture. Soundtrack albums were released in 2004 and 2006,
I ain't gonna lie.
featuring songs from the series.
bro,
Some
seeing all these like the That's a Raven shit, like seeing just the merch and shit like that, it gives me nostalgia. It gives you nostalgia. And like I was a Disney kid, and it shit just brings me back to the good old days.
Formed by the cast and guest stars, video games were also developed, with titles released for Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS, allowing fans to continue the That's So Raven experience beyond the screen. The show's success extended beyond the small screen, as That's So Raven received numerous award nominations and wins throughout its run. In 2003, it was nominated for the British Academy of Film and Television Arts Children's Award for Best International Program. In 2005, it won the Artios Award for Best Children's Programming, and it also took home a Genesis Award for Children's Programming. Raven Simone was honored for her outstanding performance with an Image Award in 2006, recognizing her as the best performer in a children's series or special. The cast performances were also recognized with several Young Artist Awards. In 2005, Raven Simone, Orlando Brown, Kyle Massey, and Annalisa van der Pol won the award for Outstanding Young Performers in a Television Series. Massey later won a Young Artist Award in 2007 for Best Performance by a Leading Young Actor in a Television Series. In conclusion, the show's rise to popularity was fueled by its relatable characters, especially Raven Simone, and its ability to tackle issues that resonated with young viewers.
Oh, I am ruined. I can't believe this is happening. Oh my.
The awards and recognitions it received were a testament to the impact it had on television and its lasting influence on the industry. Behind the scenes of That's So Raven, one of Disney Channel's
That
most
makeup was
popular
crazy. They
shows,
keep looking at her makeup.
there were
It looks
struggles and
nothing like her.
challenges that went beyond the on-screen fun.
She was not that orange.
It's showtime!
While the show was groundbreaking for many reasons, especially as Disney's first multi-camera sitcom and the first to feature a black female lead, it wasn't without its drama. Annalisa van der Pol, who played Chelsea, spoke about her time on the show, revealing some of the issues the cast and crew faced. Annalisa, who was just 15 when she auditioned for That's So Raven, shared her experience during an interview. Now, years later, Annalisa is opening up about what it was really like to work for Disney. One of the most surprising things she revealed was that the show's original title wasn't even That's So Raven. Instead, it was called Absolutely Psychic. When Annalise first auditioned for the series, Raven Simone wasn't even the lead character. In fact, Raven was originally considered a sidekick, and the main role was written for a different character who would later become Chelsea. However, after filming the pilot, the creators quickly realized that Raven Simone's natural comedic talent and already established fan base made her the perfect choice to lead the show. Annalisa explained that during filming, it became clear that Raven was the funniest and had a strong following, which led to her being moved up to first position. While Raven's promotion to lead was a good decision.
Y'all saw how light she was? Like, look.
During filming, it became clear that Raven was the funniest and had a strong following, which led to her being.
Y'all see how light she is? Like, she look good in this. I ain't gonna cap. But she look light, right? Bruh,
Moved up to
her
first
makeup
position.
on the show
While
does
Raven's
not, like,
promotion
look,
to
bruh,
lead was a good decision for
that's
the
too
show.
much makeup she got
Annalisa
on.
shared that this change was a bit unsettling for her,
Don't
and it
lean on
also
that
raised
makeup.
some
And she had great
uncomfortable
skin,
questions
too.
about race. Annalisa felt that there was a hint of racism in how the casting process unfolded. At first, the network didn't view a black girl as someone who could lead a show. They saw her only as a sidekick, she explained. This was a common issue in Hollywood at the time, where racial bias often influenced who got top billing and who was relegated to supporting roles. Annalisa also discussed the way business decisions shaped the show's production. In the entertainment industry, especially for child stars, decisions are often made based on what will make the most money. Christy Carlson Romano, who was part of the conversation, summed it
Shout
up
out
by
to Even
saying
Stevens.
everything was
Even
business.
Stevens. Even
Genius
Stevens.
writing. Like, that's not what it's about. It's actually, I think it's for like 12-year-olds to like jerk off to or something.
While this is a common mindset in Hollywood, Annalise pointed out how difficult it was for child actors who had little control over their own lives. Despite the drama behind the scenes, That's So Raven became a standout show that made an impact in many ways. One of the series' most memorable episodes, True Colors, tackled racism head-on. In the episode,
I had a vision and I heard the manager say that she does not hire black people.
Raven thinks she has been overlooked for a job because of her race, and the storyline focuses on how she works through her feelings of injustice. The episode aired during Black History Month and helped open up conversations about race and inequality, giving
Columbus
That's So
Short.
Raven more depth than a typical teen sitcom. Throughout its run, fans on IMDb have shared their love for specific episodes, making it clear which ones stand out as the best. Let's take a closer look at some of the top fan favorite episodes from the series. In Driven to Insanity, Raven gets the chance to go on a date with an older boy named Matthew. While Raven is excited about the opportunity, her parents aren't on board with the idea. Instead, they assign her the task of babysitting her brother Corey. Not wanting to miss out, Raven asks her friends, Chelsea and Eddie, to cover for her while she sneaks out to the date. In Point of No Return, Raven has one of her signature psychic visions while out shopping with her friends. She imagines herself wearing a new blouse to a party, but it's an expensive item. Raven decides to use the $100 her dad gave her to buy a calculator for the blouse instead. She plans to return it the next day, thinking she can get away with it. However, as we all know, Raven's plans rarely go as expected, and her decision leads to a series of funny and awkward situations. The Lying Game introduces Raven to the world of career aptitude tests. After taking one, Raven finds out that she is meant to be a teacher. As part of the test, she has to shadow a teacher for a day, and she ends up following Mrs. Applebaum.
Time to start the lesson.
In Double Vision, Raven discovers that she isn't the only one with psychic powers. She meets Ben, Chelsea's new crush, who also has visions. The two become fast friends, and when they hug,
These are two different shows. Nigga, that was Raven's home. I think that was her son or something like that. That was not on That's So Raven.
they share a joint vision. However, Chelsea becomes jealous, adding a humorous layer of drama to the situation. Teacher's Pet shows what happens when a new, young teacher named Mrs. Dearborn joins the class. She's cool, loves to be on a first-name basis with the students, and even suggests that studying can be a party. Raven takes this suggestion too far and thinks she can manipulate Mrs. Dearborn into skipping the class test. In That's Not So Raven, Raven's dream of becoming a fashion designer takes center stage. When she gets the chance to model a dress she created, she is thrilled. However, when the pictures are released in a magazine, Raven discovers that her appearance has been digitally altered to make her body look much thinner. Where There Is Smoke takes a more serious tone as Raven finds a pack of cigarettes under Corey's bed. She assumes that Corey has started smoking and decides to take action by gathering people in Corey's life to help him understand the dangers of smoking. In Cake Fear, Raven and Corey think they will have the house to themselves for the weekend when their parents leave town. However, they are in for a surprise when their old babysitter, Miss Patterson, shows up to keep an eye on them. At first, the siblings are not too concerned, but things take a turn when they realize they've eaten a cake that was meant for their mother's birthday. The road to audition centers around Raven's obsession with a television show called Undercover Superstar, where talent scouts look for students gifted in music. Raven has a vision of a janitor being an undercover talent scout, and she decides to put on a great performance.
She looked good like that.
However, it turns out that the janitor isn't a talent scout at all, but is working for the health department. Lastly, True Colors addresses the issue of racism directly. When Raven and Chelsea apply for jobs at Sassy's, Raven is sure she'll get the job since she nailed the interview. But when Chelsea gets hired instead, Raven is confused and upset. She has a vision of the store manager revealing that she doesn't hire black people, which leads to a plan to expose the manager's discrimination. These episodes represent some of the best moments in That's So Raven. They mix humor with important lessons, making them memorable and beloved by fans. The cast of That's So Raven has continued to make waves in the entertainment industry, with many of the stars pursuing new projects and finding success in various fields. Let's take a look at what the main cast members are up to now. Raven Simone.
What's the infamous scene that took That's So Raven off the air?
Has had a long career in entertainment. After That's So Raven, she expanded into music with songs like That's What Little Girls Are Made Of and With a Child's Heart. Raven also starred in the Cheetah Girls series and College Road Trip. In 2017, she returned to her role as Raven Baxter in the spin-off Raven's Home, which ended in 2023. In May 2024, Raven announced a new project, a spin-off called Alice in the Palace. Raven Simone is also an advocate for LGBTQ rights and has a podcast with her wife, Miranda Madej, called Tea Time with Raven and Miranda, where they chat about entertainment and social media topics. Kyle Massey, who played Raven's younger brother Corey, has had a busy career as well. After That's So Raven, he starred in Corey in the House, which followed Corey's life in Washington District of Columbia. Kyle also voiced characters in Fishhooks and appeared in projects like Dutch and Big Boss. In 2024, Kyle made headlines for rescuing a woman from a flipped car in California. He also spoke about child star welfare in a documentary, emphasizing the importance of protecting young actors. Rendell Sheridan, who played Raven and Corey's dad, Victor, had a successful career before That's So Raven, with roles on shows like A Different World and The Jamie Foxx Show. After That's So Raven, he returned to Disney for Cory in the House, and later appeared in Raven's Home. In addition to acting, Rondell has worked as a director, helming episodes of Hannah Montana and What I Did Last Summer. He is also active in stand-up comedy and shares funny commentary on social media, entertaining his fans with his humor. Takea Crystal Kima, who played Tanya Baxter, is a highly accomplished actress, singer, and writer. Before That's So Raven, she starred on the sketch comedy show In Living Color and has since appeared in over 50 stage productions and films. Takea is also an advocate for arts education and teaches workshops for aspiring actors. Annalise Evander Pohl has had a successful career in theater and television. She appeared in the Broadway production of Beauty and the Beast and starred in other Disney projects like Shake It Up and Kim Possible. Annalise returned to Disney in 2017 for Raven's Home, reprising her role as Chelsea. She also co-hosts a podcast where she discusses Hollywood stories with her co-host. Orlando Brown, who played Eddie Thomas, has had a more complicated career path. After That's So Raven, he voiced characters like Sticky on The Proud Family and appeared in shows like Family Matters and Safe Harbor. In 2022, Orlando appeared in the film Bloody Hands and later participated in reality television with Bad Boys Texas.
Of course they put Bad Boys.
Despite facing personal challenges,
Bite.
Orlando continues to share his
Despite.
experiences through
Bite
podcasts and music, releasing several rap albums. Though That's So Raven, cast members have all followed unique paths, from acting and directing to podcasting and advocacy. Their careers after the show reflect their talents and the lasting impact the series had on their lives. Fans continue to follow their journeys, whether through new roles, personal milestones, or social media updates.
Yeah, so they played us with Raven's titties.